Welcome back to another Let's Play and Chill, everyone. Okay.
See you around.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot what I was doing. Okay, give me all those gamma coils.
How's that for quality workmanship?
Think I'm good with those. No idea what I'm researching, but we're going for it.
More chit chat. I'm gonna wait here for that. To think,
Okay, we're gonna do this. And we're gonna talk about the next president of the United States of America.
Might as well be Camp Hydra these days.
A very deeply fascinating individual. One who I have so many
Mount Wonder.
complicated feelings about.
There's been something wrong with that place.
Mr. Jimmy Carter.
I can remember. Something like this.
wrong with that? Now we know where to strike. Time for a little payback.
Now, Jimmy Carter is fascinating for a lot of reasons because he is a Southern Democrat, probably one of the last few, I would say, true, at their heart and their core, Southern Democrats. He's also a progressive Southern Democrat, don't get me wrong, but he's interesting because in a lot of ways his presidency ends up becoming the presidency that's a reaction to what was going on in politics at the time, and then ultimately will shape what the next really 15, 16 years in terms of the political office and what people ultimately want and vote for. All the Midnight Sun fam.
What if we aim for his heart or something?
He's not a vampire. He's a gamma-powered muscle man.
Juiced up with a heavy dose of Lilith's corruption.
In other words, we're screwed.
Look, I know Lilith is like a dark goddess with an extra angry Hulk as her number two.
Don't forget the Parchment of Power,
It's also one where
which is like super OP.
it's difficult to
That she does.
assert a lot of things about him
We've got friends. Each other.
because as a man, as a human being, he's a good man.
Know what we sons do? We rise.
Blind in a lot of ways and not really having a lot of foresight in a lot of aspects that a president probably should, but ultimately someone who I think is necessary for what politics was going to be like for the next, like I said, 15 plus years.
I'll be monitoring the troops' movements from here.
And very consequential in just so many
Get out.
different ways and aspects. Don't get me wrong, it's not like his life was more interesting than his presidency, but
Bubbles, demon energy barriers,
he certainly had a very, very long a very deeply fascinating life. And as of the recording today, he's still alive. 99 years old, Mr. Jimmy Carter. And currently the oldest living president that we have today.
Yes. Midnight Suns assemble or whatever.
And I think a lot of people, because he's been alive, because he's just a good human being and a humanitarian, I think try to do a bunch of revisionist history about his presidency and his time as president.
Between the creepy glow and the howling demonic
Hmm.
Hulk, I think we're running out of time.
We must not let them stand in our way.
Not a lot of options for me.
Prepare yourself.
I am impressed. A paltry attempt to conceal it.
But we're gonna try it. See if I can do a soul blast. Yes, I can.
That wasn't bad. I have no respect for mindless followers.
Go magic. Go magic.
With every fight, my power.
Girl power. OMG.
Good work.
And he is a tough one, because truthfully, he is a president and individual who is one of the few, especially when you consider the last, let's say, 100+ years of the people who have held the presidency in the United States of America, like, truly a good man.
Long before Lilith was entombed here.
Too bad it was Hydra that finally stuck around.
Easy. Giving Hydra any more way out.
Thus be done.
The advantage is mine.
This should be good. Being a bitch wasn't good enough, huh?
And for those of you who want to play this game, I would highly recommend you guys honestly play this on easy mode,
Thank you, friend.
because personally I'm someone who I want to enjoy my game, and look, if you enjoy grinding, then this game's up your alley.
Very original.
I enjoy grinding on certain games, just not games like this, to be honest with you. Like, I'll grind on like Skyrim or more difficult games where it's, you know, much more. I guess it's not to say that this game isn't fun. I would just rather
Keep fighting. It can't be the money.
I would personally much rather. What the?
We both know what Lilith offers them, Nico. A false sense of eternity catered to every corrupted mind.
I would much rather enjoy, say, playing like I'd rather grind on The Witcher, where there's many side quests, for instance, to grind and level up and get better equipment, weapons, and stuff. Just doing the exact same thing. Over and over again like this, I don't think it's as fun as
You will talk. It is not a
as
question.
I think this game believes it to be, if that makes any sense. Because this game is fun, but it is difficult in a way that it is, and can be very frustrating.
Don't waste my time.
The Knights of Wondergore held rituals of their own not far from here. They believed this land was cursed.
Well-justified conclusion.
Wondergore resonates with the dark energies of the gods.
Boom, boom, magic powers. Activate.
You were too weak for this fight.
Yay. And that's how you do it, people. We're gonna get to it though. We're gonna talk about Mr. Jimmy Carter, who was born in 1924 in Georgia. Oh.
Get inside while you can. Leave that to me.
You alone among your kind can serve as the conduit of my power, precious child.
Jimmy Carter, he's the oldest kid. He has like 3 or 4 brothers and sisters. Loves his parents. His parents were. He was born in a small town. His family had a bunch of land. They were pretty, not rich, but they certainly were a little more well off and well capable than most people, especially in a small town. Ironically, his family also was pro-segregation, which made Jimmy someone who worked with a lot of, black farmhands during his upbringing. His father ran like a general store, and a big farmer. Numerous different things. Peanuts being one of those things. He moved around a lot, all over the place. Dutiful man, hardworking. Hunter only. Shadow the closest pillar. Someone's. Okay.
It's not the most elegant solution, but bringing the roof down on them will certainly put a damper on things.
Can I shatter a pillar now? No, I gotta. Okay. Okay.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Oh my goodness. All these Link's Souls people need to chill. Of course. Now, Jimmy Carter is a good old boy, if that makes any sense. You know, he's just an old school blue collar guy. Is to this very day, mind you.
Do not waste your strength, dear child. What has been set in motion cannot be undone. Will not be undone.
You have the power to stop this, Mother.
A debt of blood is owed, and a debt of blood shall be paid. The dawn will rise.
There's no convincing her. You know what you have to do.
Good lord. Sure, why not? Jimmy grew up pretty much during the Great Depression. His family, depends on how you want to look at it, largely didn't really feel too much the effects of the Great Depression. In some ways, they actually were beneficiaries of it because they did receive a lot of farm subsidies during the Great Depression. One of the few things, and one of the few families, really, that was able to... Excuse me. Was able to do well during the Great Depression.
Sarah, my sister. It's been far too long.
Don't speak as if you know me, demon. You haven't been my sister for centuries.
It saddens me to hear you say that. There's still time for you to see things his way.
No one calling themselves the Midnight Sun will ever join your corrupted ranks. I promise you.
Alright, Johnny, we're gonna put you, let's say right here. Let's see how this goes.
Nice not being on the receiving end of your wrath.
Of course. Of course. As a kid, he worked on the farm, did his thing, went to high school. Little tidbit. Schools are very different back then, and different states had different policies, but he graduated high school in the 11th grade because there wasn't a 12th grade, apparently, so he got to leave a little bit early, hypothetically and technically.
Lilith may have found the one man, or monster, capable of withstanding the dark energies of that book long enough to fully restore it.
Banner's been nothing but trouble since this whole thing started.
You'd like to have a power.
Maybe, but I don't rip my clothes off and go berserk whenever I'm in a bad mood.
And these soulbound enemies are super annoying. Oh, did I? Oh, no, I gotta Kill him first. Make sure I get it right. Yeah, buddy. There we go. That's what I wanted to happen. Like a lot of people back then, he had big town, big city dreams and living, and he wanted more for his life than just being a farmer. He wanted to join the military, wanted to join the Naval Academy when he was a lot younger, and wanted to just improve his life overall. Starts joining Southwestern Georgia to become an engineer. I gotta start taking these guys out little by little.
With the Hulk as it is, I doubt that would calm his temper.
I say we do it. Burn them all. Vengeance takes on many.
Oh no! Uh-oh. Come on, Johnny. Survive. He would go on to... while studying to be an engineer, he would go to the... and transfer to the Georgia Institute of Technology. I think he graduated with a bachelor's in science.
Your time has come. Never seen that before. I think you got it. Time to bleed. Leave some for the rest of us.
Or just let me get to Johnny. Move him. There we go. Why does this game have to be so finicky sometimes like this?
I can only imagine what sins they were
Oh,
guilty
sweet.
of to deserve that.
Once he graduates with his degree in science, he finally is able to join the Naval Academy in 1943. World War II is going on at this point, for those of you who don't know. It's a bad joke. on, Johnny. You gotta stay alive for me, buddy. My counter. No counter? Well, that's kind of BS.
Judgment upon yourself.
Does he have the alarm? Yes, he does. While he was at the Naval Academy, he meets a brilliant young lady named Rosalind, who he had was taken aback by, as a young Jimmy Carter would say. Fell in love with her. I think she was a friend of his younger sister. And talking about this man was very, very smitten by her. I could lash you there. Be something good. Yeah, okay. Well, they do some damage, I'll take that.
Those powers, I would have guessed you were alive.
They got friends.
The two did get married immediately after he graduated. And were, no joke, people, married quite literally until her death, which she unfortunately passed away in November, I think, of 2023, which truthfully is staggering. Imagine being married to someone for roughly, 70 plus years? Oh my goodness. It's a very, very, very long time. Their marriage was notoriously very good, very strong.
That barrier is still holding.
Liber tenebris reversus es nobi.
Get out of there now! You've done more than anyone could ask.
Almost. Yo, demon lady. One thing.
And they would have 3 sons, I think, and a daughter. They had 4 kids, I believe.
The spell must not be interrupted.
Now we may leave.
Mother.
Your mother died.
Which is crazy. I'm pretty sure he outlived one of his sons. Not quite sure off the top of my head. Because he's 99 years old as of today, or as of right now, which is just insane to me. Also in his upbringing too, incredibly, and just outspokenly, I think specifically evangelical Christian. Which is also probably why I have a bit of a soft spot for him, because I would probably say, in terms of the things that I would probably believe and preach and push forward, it'd probably be some form of evangelicalism. And I think, at the very least, that has something to do with it. Which is why I don't give him too much of a hard time, even when he probably deserves it. So, as soon as he graduated from college, he sufficiently joins the Navy post World War II, from 1947 to probably sometime after the Korean War, I would say. And he traveled and was deployed pretty much everywhere while also having a family, usually aboard submarines. And I think he was a lieutenant for most of his time.
What's wrong?
And then he also started working as a part of the nuclear program, I guess you could say, for the oh, things are changing here.
The mysterious structure, which has been
I hope Aunt May isn't watching this, because she's going to flip.
suddenly appeared in the waters of the Republic,
Try to stop it.
decimating a
You screwed up, Robbie. It's okay. You can say it.
Doesn't matter who screwed up. What matters is that we're screwed.
every social media outlet with the hashtag ApocalypseWow.
We're in the end game now.
The heck is Tony? I think he's outside.
Wanda, there's something I ought to say to you.
Yay, we did it. First time we're actually trusted to sit in the driver's seat the first freaking time, and we couldn't stop her. We dropped a mountain on her head, and Lola still managed to summon the
Good on you, Nico.
Way to go, team.
I, for one, regret nothing we did back then. Neither should you.
Too bad it was all in vain.
Now Carter was, I think, prepared to be a Navy man for most of his life, or the rest of his life, really. Worked on nuclear submarines. It was actually something that happened. It was like a nuclear spill that he was a part of that he had to clean. That was Chernobyl-esque during this particular point in time. Which, I'm telling you, like, look, radiation is dangerous, but you know,
Nothing like an apocalypse to bring people
I'm a very pro-nuclear energy kind of individual. I also work in radiation because I do radiology, but might be a little biased, but
Checking up on me.
it's far safer than I think people will ever truly give it credit for. It's a little frustrating because there's just a lot of misinformation going on about nuclear and all that.
I see you and Caretaker are on the mend.
Seems so. I should be happy about it. But how can I be happy about anything?
Wreaking havoc on your home and your,
Is wreaking havoc
let's be honest, very broad shoulders and
in Transia, in a remote
You know,
village at the foot of Mount
very
It's
Arnold
extreme.
Schwarzenegger jawline, Wanda.
Poor people's lives.
I am so sorry.
He was planning to go back to school to learn more about nuclear energy, and to work more in nuclear submarines, but unfortunately his father passes away sometime in the 1950s, which is why he leaves the military.
Happens again. What if she turns me back into bad Wanda?
He basically just decides he's gonna go from, and understand too at this point, he and his wife are traveling, they're living in cities, and then his father dies and they move back to the family farm in very small rural
While you're also trying to stop
rural Georgia.
tentacle climbing into this dimension.
You're right. Probably would not have time to save you.
You wouldn't?
I'm joking.
You almost got me there.
No one is leaving you behind. Ever again.
Promise?
Cross my heart.
I have to get back to the news. See what new horrors are befalling my hometown.
Do not watch too much of it. The overconsumption of
Ain't that right, Hunter?
There are worse things for your mental health, Hunter. And I'm pretty sure I've experienced them.
No, media's pretty bad for your mental health.
Night.
You don't hate them enough. Yeah, or another dream talk with my mom, I guess.
You have gone too far, Mother.
I would say the same to you, child.
Now, Carter, despite growing up as a farmer, he was more of a handyman instead of the whole business aspect of it.
Next time I will use a bigger mountain.
Say what you must. I saw
Um,
hesitation in your eyes.
At least initially, he wasn't the best farmer.
Another child.
But no, he really didn't grow up doing
Doghood is finally
the things that his father did, you know, managing a business, which his wife is very integral in doing, while he did all the hard, laborious work. In their first couple years, they just did not succeed as farmers, and taking a bunch of bank loans. And at this point, this is when Eisenhower's president, and really benefited from a lot of the subsidies that he would undertake at this particular point. And
Some like him.
also at this point, he's seeing a lot of the things that are going on with politics. He's a prominent citizen in his hometown, slowly, you know, becoming much more
Several lifetimes.
I have never heard of you speak of him until now.
prominent, really, in the state of Georgia.
Upon the end of a
Um,
prophecy.
Starts regularly attending church like crazy. I think he goes from evangelical to eventually he becomes a Baptist. 'Cause I think he's still a Baptist to this day.
Beside the block.
I am
And in the late 50s, early 60s, he really starts running for public office. Starts getting his name out there.
envy that. What? Another snappy comeback? Promises that we shall be reunited.
One particular one, which Carter's a part of, is he's running for a Georgia state Senate seat, which he technically loses. Against the incumbent, but literally they were caught like stuffing the ballot, which is crazy. Ballot boxes like crazy. I'm telling you, people cheat in elections all the time. Okay, just want to point that out there. And then they were caught, and they did another. They held another election, in which case Carter won his state Senate seat.
I could always count on your wisdom.
Really? I always feared I was flying by the seat of my broom. Did I tell you I had one of those in the 1960s? Quite comfortable.
Seated broom? Where is it now? Can I see it?
Lost in the chaos of an unforgettable music festival.
Now, as a state senator, I guess his politics at this point would be Kennedy-esque. He's a big fan of not Robert Kennedy, but John F. Kennedy. And,
Melodramatic,
but probably a little bit more progressive. I think he saw what the expansion of the federal government can do for people, because he is someone who ultimately benefited from a lot of government subsidies throughout his entire life. So he's going to have a positive look and influence on the federal government, and specifically the state government for him in Georgia.
I'm sorry, Hunter.
So he attempts initially to run at the House of Representatives because there's a seat open, but ends up deciding he's going to take a stab at running for the governor of Georgia, actually, in 1966. at this point, he's in his, late 30s. He's built up his business very, very well.
What exactly did you hear?
Agatha, speaking with you.
I see.
Do you deny it?
I have to.
Why?
Sorry about my dogs.
To whom?
I think you know.
My God.
So you promised Agatha.
I don't know what's been going on with them. I think it might just be the heat.
I can see that.
They have been fighting like crazy.
Caretaker.
My goodness.
Could be.
But she might change her mind if she knows I can hear her.
Maybe.
And for sake of argument, how soon might she change her mind?
Soon. Hypothetically.
All right. I'm trusting you, Hunter.
There's a lot of things going on with this game. My goodness. Just want to have a good night's sleep, people. That's all. But when he runs first in 1966, he loses his bid for the governor. I think he ends up getting third place, but he does have his name out there in a positive way. Mainly because people are just insane and radical in the 60s. You know how people get sometimes. I don't have to talk to either one of them. Okay.
You're looking well, Chief. Oh, you are gonna love this. Hey, Don. So, how's the whole saving the world thing going? Sometimes I even impress myself.
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, we got another artifact? I didn't even realize that. Huh. Crackling Grail of the Oceans. I'm gonna wait to research because I feel like we're gonna have to research something else.
I dropped 10 cubic tons of rubble on Lilith's head.
Hey, can I ask a favor?
Was that the time we fought for 20 minutes?
Sweet. I don't even know what that does, but okay.
You're gonna have to be more specific. Ain't gonna go easy, bub.
Practice makes perfect. I think we've got something for everyone.
Sure. And draw a card. Okay. See, that's stuff that I can get behind, game.
Later.
Oh, I need to talk to freaking everybody.
Okay? If she turned on the news, she's probably scared. I know you're upset.
I apologize for not having the bandwidth to speak last night. It's just
But he runs 1966, loses, gets third place.
it's been still starting to process it all.
He ends up getting a lot of name recognition and pretty much loses to the segregationist governor.
Pull myself together.
What's his name? Maddox?
At any moment, my
Lester Maddox or something like that.
on the planet.
And
Back in the library, reading as if we were back to normal before Agatha passed.
decides he's not out of politics yet. Runs in again in 1970. This time,
Glad she's not alive to endure the horrors
specifically what people would say as a much more I don't even put it.
I know one thing she would have wanted.
What's that?
To see this rift.
I guess you could say a populist by today's standards and definitions.
Quite ready for that. Not yet.
Just do not wait until the world is
I wouldn't say a conservative by any stretch of the imagination, but he is saying all the right things for the most part in his run-up to the 1970 election for governor.
This is the first time I've been here since I had to leave the Abbey.
And
For obvious reasons, Agatha is on my mind. I can't imagine how much pressure it would be to carry that kind of secret. Of course, I'd like to know more, but I trust you're doing the best you can.
it has not been easy.
Then I won't add to your burden. I don't know what I expected to find here.
Books, usually.
Thank you for that.
So he runs for governor again in 1970,
So much time here, I expected to
quote-unquote more conservatively. The things that were very interesting, though, is he definitely leaned into much more of a segregationist perspective, surprisingly. He actually criticized his Democratic primary opponent for supporting Martin Luther King, which is famously he did. Just want to point that out. Probably regrets that, though, in fairness and in retrospect.
I need to figure it out for myself before I
But he ends up winning, basically, the election in 1970 against the more, I guess, progressive
studies.
Republican nominee, whose name was, I think his name was Hal Suit or something like that. I just remember because it's just a funny name. Suit. Suit. Or Sweet. I don't remember which one.
Why are we whispering?
Meet me in my room. We need to talk.
All right. What is this?
Yeah, what is this about?
Wanda knows you are in the Abbey. Last night, she overheard us speaking.
She did?
She confronted me and demanded to know where you were.
What did you tell her?
I could not lie to her.
I feel like they're just trying to make Agatha a thing in
I'm glad you didn't.
the most recent media for
Wanda,
Marvel.
the rules have changed.
Should we tell her?
Yes, this evening. I'll seek you out after the mission. Here I go, stirring up trouble. Feels like old times.
Okay, I think for right now, we're going to stop. We'll continue on to Jimmy Carter soon, but we're going to finish this part, guys. Like and subscribe. God bless. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Y'all rock. Thank you for supporting this. Later.